This is Jackie Helvey, and I'm here at the Arts Center with Wendy Smith and Mark Bettger, who are the two assistant executive or deputy, what's the term? What are you using?
Co-interim executive director.
Co-interim executive directors at the Arts Center. And I was here about a year ago and spoke with Dan Mayer, but everything has changed since then. He's gone, and you guys have a new plan. So first, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Wendy, you can start, and then tell us about what's going on new with the Arts Center plans.
Okay, well, I'm Wendy Smith, and last year I joined the Arts Center team as the development director. I'm native to Chapel Hill, but I live in Carborough now. I've always been a big fan of this community and especially the arts.
Well, and you were the co-owner of Cameron's for years. That's a pretty big thing, yeah.
So I'm Mark Bettger. I'm a transplant from New England, came down here. Duke lured both my wife and I down. I started here right at the start of the pandemic. Odd time to start.
Oh, wow.
But it was a strategic decision, as that time our executive director, Dan Mayer, was really entrusted with the capital campaign, and that's taken a big portion of his time, so he needed a deputy director to come in and help with the operational day-to-day. So that's what I've been working on. It's coming up to 2 years in June.
Wow, that doesn't seem possible. 2 years of this. Jeez.
But a lot of transition. It's been a lot of time just building up staffing and getting infrastructure back in place and the programs back up and running. And we're fully operational now.
Oh, that's great.
We're very fortunate to have weathered the storm.
So now the big news.
So we recently pivoted. We originally were going to be moving into a new building that was being built on Jones Ferry Road. Mm-hmm. But earlier this fall, we were given the opportunity to purchase a building that is literally spitting distance from here. It's right on Roberson Street. It's sort of the best kept secret. It's sort of hidden behind bushes right now, but
right.
It's a Yagi building. It was originally the Piedmont Health building, and then UNC used it for their IT department. During the pandemic, all that moved online, and they stopped renting the space, and so the owners were ready to sell and approached us.
I was really surprised that they are selling.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they've rented that space out for decades. So I guess those guys, though, are getting older, you know, that whole bunch of owners, because they also manage, or they have Carmel Mall and a couple of other properties in the area. Mm-hmm. So that, and it's next to the parking lot beside or across from the Armadillo Grill, just so people, it's at the beginning of the bike trail, if people don't have any idea of where it is. And you know, oddly enough, 1 year for the Carborough Music Festival, we used that as a venue.
Oh, that's great.
The back of it, yeah, it was that's a very obscure fact. So now, heck, we may be using it again, huh?
Yep, it's a fantastic location. It's it has about 18,000 square feet. It's all on one level, which is nice, so it'll be completely accessible to everybody. It's a wonderful space to renovate. It'll be easy to renovate. We'll be able to we're going to be creating 3 new maker spaces. One's going to be a science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. STEAM is an acronym for that. Makerspace, and then we'll have one that's going to be a technology-based makerspace, and then also a fiber arts makerspace.
Oh, interesting. So you're not going to, are you going to have the pottery anymore or no?
Do you want to speak to that?
Absolutely. Ceramics is a big part of what we do. There's a huge community for it. As a matter of fact, the room is going to triple in size.
3 times, yeah.
Oh,
it's going to be huge.
Great.
So they're very happy about that back there. Shared it with our ceramic studio people. I think it's going to just offer a much more conducive space. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Now, will you still be doing the art school also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's see, what else was I going to ask you? Oh, how many performance spaces will there be?
Do you want to speak to that?
Just one.
Okay.
One of the exciting things about this is that we're actually going to get the performance space back. When you mentioned the Jones Ferry Road project, we weren't going to have a performance space.
Wow, that would have not been good.
It was going to be makeshift, but this one we're actually getting it back. It's going to be smaller, more intimate, only 120 seats versus what we do in the Wynn. But everybody seems to be pretty happy with that. They like the more intimate concept, and I think it'd be more conducive to highlight local talent, which is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Now the big question that everybody always harps on, what about parking?
Oh, we've got parking, 88 spaces.
That's
It's really sweet.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and they're already there, so you're not gonna have to,
exactly.
pave paradise.
And we plan to add some bike racks, boat, and also EV stations for cars and bikes.
Oh, that's
So,
a great
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, and hopefully we can use, I mean, here we have no designated space. We can't do anything, but I mean, having a parking lot, we could probably think about doing some outside stuff or fairs or just think outside the box. So that's a real good
Yeah,
benefit.
and also when you're not busy and using it, it's someplace that people can park. Right now I know that, the parking is so crazy or perceived to be. Those of us that have been here for a while know all the little hidden places, but there's a lot of perception that there's not enough parking in Carborough, so that will be wonderful because it'll be a space that'll be accessible now.
Exactly.
So when is all this going to start? Do you guys have any idea?
So right now we presented our plans to the town. It has to go through all the planning committees, and so that'll
So
take-
about 10 years? No, I'm teasing.
Well,
I'm
the
teasing.
good news is that the town's really excited about this new location, and so they have a vested interest in helping to move it along. So
Right.
fingers crossed, we'll be able to start pulling permits in June, and then we're hoping to be able to move in the first quarter of next year.
Oh, nice.
So it's a pretty quick turnaround, really.
That is,
again,
really.
better than the Jones Ferry plan, which was going to take a little bit longer, involve new construction, which
Yeah.
can always run into snags then. So.
Right. Well, and it's cool too, I think, because it's right there at the beginning of the bike path, so it's easy to find it, and there's another parking lot right there, like I mentioned. So it's just going to be wonderful. Now, until that happens, tell me what's going on here now. What are your hours here, and what's the deal here right now?
Hours are still pretty standard, 9 to 5. I mean, for general operating, which we have our after-school program, we have some art school classes that run during the day. And then from 5 to 9, we have our evening classes and or performances. So we're back to normal operations. And then we're open from 10 to 5 on Saturdays. For people that want to come in the weekend, look at the gallery, and accommodate any workshops or classes we're having and or performances. So-
Now, what about Sunday? Are you guys open on Sunday?
We're not.
Just
currently.
you don't have any performances going on once in a while, huh?
Once in a while, if there
Uh-huh.
is, we'll make an exception, and obviously we'll accommodate that, but it's not a standard work day.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for the update, and I'm sure that the community is going to be thrilled. Like I said earlier to you, Wendy, I think this is a much better place than what was going to happen, and I like the fact that it's all on one level and it's easily accessible and it's got parking. It's already done, basically,
It's true. It really is the perfect fit. I think that's what everybody agrees. As we've been sharing the plans with the community and our major funders and all that, everybody's so enthusiastic.
Yeah, that's great timing on all of it.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again, y'all.
Thank you for
Thank you.
speaking with us. Appreciate it.
Yep.